So one way to do SEO is obviously to build up your content, right? Work with backlinks and beyond. Anna today will introduce you to a bit of a different way of building up your SEO game. It's all about acquiring assets. Instead of building, you're buying. I'm very interested in that approach, especially her special calculator that she uses to evaluate which online assets to purchase and how. Interesting session for sure. The stage is yours, Anna.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna Moragli. I'm a SEO consultant and founder of Searchmatic. Today we will talk about a very hot SEO topic, how to strategically acquire website assets to double your traffic and rankings online. We all know pretty much how SEO works. We choose keywords, optimize the pages for the keywords, create content, build backlinks and wait. And then create more content, build more backlinks and wait. But sometimes the process got stuck because the keywords we chose are too competitive. And they are too competitive because they have a huge amount of searches, or they just have huge competition on top search results. We all know these 10 or 20 keywords that we want our business to be found for. They are the keywords that they are really related to our business, and they are the keywords also that they may have a huge potential of traffic. But the effort is too hard. Let's take the example of an e-commerce pharmacy store that sells food supplements. One of their core keywords might be online pharmacy or vitamin D supplement. These keywords have a huge commercial potential and they can bring traffic and sales to the website, and they also have a huge amount of searches. They have around 2,000 to 30,000 searches per month. Huge, right? Assuming that we are not Amazon and we don't have Amazon resources, to get in the top search results for these terms, we will need to create around 100 to 200 pieces of content and build 400 to 500 backlinks. And this process will probably take 1 year. Huge amount of time and huge amount of resources. Good news are that there is another way to get there without all this pain. Of course, you have to follow the SEO process and create content, build backlinks and everything like that. But this technique is about to save you a ton of time. It's the technique of buying domains and utilize their content or their authority to boost your rankings. So this is a real graph from a real Google Analytics account that shows the organic growth of a website in just 3 months after acquiring only one website asset. So this is a really good strategy to follow if you want a quickly topical relevance and immediate injection of traffic to your website. There are two motives behind a website acquisition: content and authority. I will keep as a main example the e-commerce pharmacy store that sells food supplements. Now, let's see a content-motivated purchase example. Let's say that we want to acquire a well-being publication with 1,000 articles. We made an audit and we find out that we can utilize 500 articles, that they already rank in top search results for keywords such as vitamin D supplements, magnesium, online pharmacies, and keywords like that. If we actually do purchase this website, what we just achieved is that we just bought the rankings for the most important keywords that we want to rank for, because we buy the content that rank for these keywords. We get an immediate injection of traffic, assuming that this website has already traffic. We quickly add topical relevance for the topic of supplements that will allow us to rank higher for a multiple set of keywords. And we skip or even limit the content marketing process because you just bought 500 articles. Now let's see an authority motivated purchase example. Let's say that we want to acquire a healthy lifestyle blog that has higher authority than our own website and of course higher domain rating. Assuming that we already checked the backlinks and it has a healthy backlink profile, it's a good choice to move on with. So if we do buy this domain, this property, what we just achieved is that we get relevant backlinks for our own website that will allow us, of course, rank higher for multiple keywords. We boost the domain rating and the overall authority of our own website. And we get an immediate injection of traffic, assuming that this website has already traffic. Of course, having a website that has both usable content and quality backlinks, it's the best case scenario, but it's really rare to find. So you might be wondering, is this a technique that can only be applied in e-commerce stores? Well, no. It is a technique that can be applied in all kinds of industries and all sizes of companies. One of the reasons behind is the cost. A website asset could cost from $100 to $1,000 or even more, depending on the growth goals, the business goals, and the budget of the company. But this is not only an SEO decision, this is a business decision as well, because you are about to acquire a website that has a lot of monetization ways. It might have a community, ads, sponsored articles, or being a part of an affiliate network. So you also buy another revenue stream, you buy another business, and you buy a website that you can monetize with a lot of different ways. Now, let's see the end-to-end process of how to acquire a website asset. The process is split into 3 phases: pre-acquisition, acquisition, and post-acquisition phase. The hardest work must be done in the post-acquisition phase, but we will see everything in detail and how to do it step by step. In the pre-acquisition phase, the goal is to do a top-level data gathering and a first auditing of content and backlinks, and of course estimate the revenue and the cost of your website targets. So how do you find website assets opportunities? There are 3 ways to do it: by doing keyword research and find interesting domains in the search results, by searching broken links, you could start from your competition, and by visiting auction sites, and I'm not talking about expired domains. You can visit either flippa.com or investors.club and find thousands of lists of website assets and find all the details that you need to know: the cost per asset, the monetization type, the potential traffic, and very other interesting insights. Then you have to move on and do a top-level data gathering and define the most important information that are how much are the usable assets, how many are the usable pages, the potential of the search volume and the traffic, and the potential of the backlinks. And of course, do a rough estimation of the value of this domain, how much you estimate that it would cost, and how much revenue you estimate that it does. After that, you need to discover the site structure of the website. This is a really important step. You can start from sitemap or by crawling the website with a tool like Screaming Frog or Sitepulp. You need to discover and exclude only relevant URL paths from your auditing process, because they will be useless after acquiring the website. And you don't want to have wrong numbers about the traffic and the revenue, right? Then, of course, you have to evaluate the content, like a rough auditing, and try to determine the relevant content and classify the content in content groups. That would make it easier for you after the purchase to make the auditing process and the editing process. And then, of course, move with the backlink profile auditing. You need to make sure that there is nothing toxic in the website, or there's nothing that could indicate a spammy website. Last but not least, you have to estimate the revenue. Here, a big role plays the niche. That would affect the type of the monetization of the website, affiliate ads and everything that we mentioned before. And of course, you need to use industry benchmarks to have a better picture about the website. The last thing you need to do here is to evaluate the cost of buying a domain versus building a domain. So you can use these cards in order to define the costs. The criteria is really simple, and it's all about the cost per page, per content piece creation, and per backlink, and how much time you need to get traffic from this website. Either you build it or either you buy it. In the most cases, it's most cost efficient to buy the website instead of try to build the website because of the cost to acquire backlinks and the cost of content marketing process. Moving forward to the acquisition phase, the goal is to confirm the estimations that you made earlier and negotiate the price and close the deal. So the first thing that you need to do at this point is to reach out to the owner of the website and request the actual data of the website. In order to make it easier, you can offer to sign an NDA and ask access to the Google Analytics, Google Search Console platforms to get the actual data. For the revenue data, you can ask access to Stripe data, or if it's commerce, to the WooCommerce, and get the actual receipts. Don't forget to ask only what you need, because the more data that you have, the way difficult it became to evaluate the website asset. Then it's time to confirm the estimations that you made in terms of traffic, keyword rankings, content quality, and backlinks, and compare all the website assets that you found. So I would recommend to create a scorecard that you will use the following criteria: decisional impact, the referring domains, the backlinks, how aligned is the topical relevance to your own business, the rankings of the website, what is the trend of the traffic, how quickly you can get results, and the age of the website. Once you evaluate the website targets with the actual data, you can use this criteria list to compare one website asset with others. So you can have a solid conclusion on what website asset you should move forward with. So once you are done with the auditing, you have to do the pricing of each target and decide what is the price that you want to pay for each website asset based on the data you have. Then you have to reach out again the website owner and negotiate the price. So don't forget to be really quick, and if you can find them by mail, get them on the phone. When the deal is done, you have to manage the handover workflow, which is a bit tricky and it needs to be done carefully. So this is a quick checklist of the things that you shouldn't forget to mention when you do the handover. Ask the domain name transfer, access to CMS, full access to Google Analytics, Tag Manager, Google Search Console. Ask the web hosting details. Ask the handover of all the social media accounts or email marketing platforms, plugins or any other licenses. And of course, never forget to ask for image licenses and proof of permissions. This is really tricky because it's about personal data and copyrights. So you need to have the proof of the images license, okay? Because when you acquire the website, any images used without permission becomes your problem. So now that you closed the deal and you acquired your new website and managed properly the handover, it's time for the hard work, and we move forward to the last phase of this process, the post-acquisition phase. The goal here is to actually decide what to do with your content, handle all the editing and updating process of the content, handle all the technical process like redirections, and go live. But let's see everything in detail. What you have to do is create a spreadsheet and gather all the URLs of the acquired website. The goal is to label each URL either as migrate, edit, redirect, or kill. Then you have to map out any kind of changes on the URLs and map out old vs your new URLs, any updates on the metadata, and map out the redirections. Then you have to publish the content, push the redirects live, submit the new sitemap, and you are ready to go. But let's start with the auditing process. The concept here is simple. You need to label each URL as migrate, edit, redirect, or kill. In order to do that, you need to gather all the data that you need to evaluate your content. So for each URL, for each piece of content, you need to gather the following data. Number of keywords, if any kind of keywords they are ranking on the top search results, the potential traffic and the actual traffic, the backlinks, the number of backlinks for each page, and the actual number of traffic from Google Analytics. When you have this kind of data, you can now decide what to do with the content. If you want to migrate a piece of content, you will do it because you will take the content for your own website. So you have to change anything. You just take the piece of content and redirect the old URL to the new URL of your own website. When you mark the piece of content as edit, you have to make some minor changes or big changes before you use this piece of content. So you know that you have to add content because it's a mini piece of content. You have to change the headings, for example, or you have to change the metadata, or you have to do changes on the tone of voice. In case that you decide that you want to redirect a URL, you will do it because the content is not useful anymore. It has backlinks, so you don't want to lose the value of the backlinks, but you cannot use the piece of content. In case that you want to kill a piece of content, it means that this piece of content has no value, has no backlinks, no traffic, no keywords, so it's completely useless for you. So you decide to kill it and disappear it from the website. Once you're done with marking the pages, you need to take all the pages that need editing and define what kinds of editing, minor, moderate, high, or they need to be rewrite completely. And of course make notes on what kind of changes needs to be done. Also, you will need to take the pages that needs to be migrated or redirected, map out the old URLs and the new URLs, and proceed with redirections. And of course, you need to make sure that nothing goes wrong because you don't want to lose any SEO value from these pages. Once you managed all the content editing and the content migration, you're almost done. You have to submit a new sitemap in order to request re-indexing of the website. And then you're ready to go live. It's really important to monitor the process and see the traffic changes on your own website and see the results. Hopefully you will have results within 2 to 3 months. Now that we are done with the process, let me share with you my top 3 secrets for website assets acquisition. First of all, try to find domains that requires the minimum of editing and they have the maximum of ROI in terms of monetization and revenue. Trust me, you will save a ton of time. Second of all, evaluate at least 5 domains before we move forward with a final decision. You will have a better picture of what is going on in the market. Secret number 3, don't just migrate the entire domain or the entire content to your homepage. This is just a waste of money and you lose all the SEO value of it and the business value of it. So this is it. Thank you for your time. Good luck with the process.